Hello everyone, we are live, we are outside Carrow Road, it's Wednesday evening and Norwich City have won in the Championship. My goodness me, life could not get any better obviously. Norwich beating QPR 2-0 here, plain sailing obviously. We're going to talk about all that with these guys here. Stuart Hodge, freelance sports journalist, and David Freezer of the Eastern Daily Press and PinkUn.com and all these kind of gubbins, all of them. Dave, shall I come to you first? Rate that, because first half was sketchy to a degree, second half much improved.
Yeah, first half was pretty drab. Good save from Angus Gunn to keep them in it. Marcel Franke should have headed them in front, of course. Should have put more on that header. I thought half-time 0-0 was befitting of the game, really, because it just wasn't a great quality match.
No, it wasn't. So the second half, was it that QPR just couldn't maintain their level, or credit here for Norwich upping it?
Yeah, I think it's the quality. That's the quality that we all knew. I think Oliveira's goal just relieved that pressure, didn't it? Everyone was still nervy from Sunday. And, are things going wrong under Farke already? Which obviously was just nerves, I think. Now that Nelson has reminded everyone what he can do, and of course Harrison Reed with that absolute banger at the end, then we're cooking.
It was a wonderful goal, yeah. 3 minutes into the second half, Nelson Oliveira scored. Key moment in the game, because it just settled everything down. The game from that point on was completely different.
Yeah, do you know what really amazed me is the first half you were talking about there. It's just so remarkably different from the game we saw against Sunderland, where Norwich had all of the ball and weren't really doing much in the final third, whereas tonight there was some good football played in spells in the midfield, but all of the key combinations and that sort of thing, that was happening in the final third of the pitch. That was the big difference tonight. As you say, key moment, and what a goal as well. Lovely little reverse pass from Vrancic, and Nelson, well, you'd back him in that situation.
A beautiful pass from Mario Vrancic, who was excellent in the second half. And a few people have raised questions about Mario, and we'll get onto him, I'm sure, in a moment. That first half, Norwich had 46% of the possession. I think they ended up with 46 at the end of the game. So that can't possibly be deliberate. Daniel Farke wants them to dominate the ball.
I don't think it's deliberate that they had so little of the ball, but what I think they've been working on this week would have been twofold. The defensive shape, which was much, much better, and I think everyone just looks more comfortable in a 4. I think that's a factor. Norwich did have a lot of possession and did little with it at the weekend. Tonight what I think we saw is Daniel Farke said, look, we don't need to do as much in the middle of the pitch. Let's make sure that we're doing our key potent attacking in the final third. And I think what you did see is patience when we got the ball to the final third, but it just got there a lot quicker, and I don't think anyone's complaining about that.
No, absolutely not. And Daniel Farke rewarded for the changes he made, I guess. 5 big ones. We had Wes, Ivo Pinto, Vrancic and Josh Murphy all starting, and they all got there in the end, didn't they? Maybe apart from Ivo Pinto, who had to come off injured, of course.
Yeah, that's a little bit worrying, because obviously he had hamstring problem before. Josh Murphy had a strange night. We were saying he almost looked a bit of an angry man during the game, didn't he? He just didn't look quite on his game tonight, but I'm sure that will come. Mario Vrancic, I did our player watch on PinkUn.com last Tuesday against Swindon, and I'm sure he was not thrilled that I had, because he had an absolute stinker against Swindon, didn't he? But he was much better tonight, showed a little bit of class. He's still got a lot of work to do, still got to pick up the pace in terms of working hard and competing in the middle. Nelson, we all know what he can do if you keep him going, and I think Daniel got his rewards. Just to add on what Stuart was saying as well, something that was noticeable was Angus Gunn kicking long rather than playing it short a lot of the time. And I thought that was quite noticeable. So whether that was a back to basics sort of approach to the whole game, let's just, like you say, get it in the final third and try and play there.
Probably a result as well of QPR pressing them so high in the first half. QPR did it completely differently to Sunderland, didn't they? They played it quite high, they moved the ball, and they pressed Norwich, certainly.
I think Holloway's tactical idea going into the game was bang on, actually. But I think Norwich worked it out. And I think we've actually, that's the thing that gives me optimism for this season, is we do have a lot in our locker in terms of variation by the looks of it this season. And that's the one thing that you can say, maybe under the previous regime, things got a bit samey at times. We're not seeing that under this new Norwich regime.
No, and we've spoken a lot about patience, work in progress. The key thing is seeing the progress in the work in progress, which I guess we saw today, and the time you get bought by buying some points like that.
Yeah, because it's frustrating to watch at times in the first half. Is that you can literally see they're a work in progress. That some of the triangular moves that they're trying to do aren't coming off sometimes. Some of the players aren't quite on the same wavelength. I'm sure in 10 games' time we're going to see those things starting to become more fluid. The crowd are going to know what to expect. The players are going to know. And you look at, say, Reading under Jaap Stam. They didn't just start playing like they play now, did they? It's obviously taken them time, took Huddersfield time to start playing in that specific style. So yeah, it's going to be frustrating at times, but with the quality that they've got in that dressing room, particularly when Alex Pritchard is fit and Tim Closer as well, then they should be beating teams like QPR.
I think a key point on that is on the patience. I did a piece for the PinkUn today which was focused entirely on that, and even at the free kick leading up to the second goal, it was played short and there were people saying, oh, that's a waste, you should be throwing that in the box. But actually that patient approach yielded a bit of space and Harrison Reed leathered it into the back of the net. And that's the education that I think Norwich fans are going to need to go through, that maybe the old ways are not the way that we're going to be successful with this new team. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time for the team, but I think it's also going to take time for the fans to appreciate that new style of play.
I have to say, Carrow Road is really embracing this, the way they're going about it. Clearly a lot of people are complaining and some won't be happy, but in general we had all four sides of the ground singing On the Ball City in the second half today. It doesn't happen very often.
I think that fresh feel from the squad around the whole club has translated onto the stands, hasn't it? We obviously saw the march down Riverside from the fans on Saturday. There's a few new chants tonight, weren't there? I saw Christoph Zimmermann get into the Barclay at the end to take a few selfies with fans. So, long may that continue. It feels like a more united spirit is starting to grow. That only happens with results. So, long may that continue.
And we head to Villa on Saturday. Norwich have a fantastic record at Aston Villa, so but they're under their own pressure. Gents, thank you so much. And Stuart, thanks for joining us all this time you've been down south, and come down south again very soon.
Yeah, lads, it's always been a pleasure. And the thing is, this place will call me back every so often. I'm sure I'll be here again.
Doesn't happen. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget PinkUn.com for all the analysis and reaction from Mario Vrancic, Daniel Farke, and of course Paddy and co on PinkUn.com. And we'll see you at Villa Park, or probably on the way to Villa Park, knowing what we're doing this season. We'll be there in the car park with the coaches bright and early. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.